Hello, I'm Tina Marie St. Cyr, and I'm answering the question, what is executive coaching? So, in short, executive coaching is working with a professional who has been in an executive role and understands how best to navigate communications, relationships, strategic thinking, so that you can put your best foot forward, but also grow in very strategic ways that'll help advance your career faster. Will help you get invited to the strategic conversations in your company or outside your company at your industry level. Also, we help you gain new perspectives of possibilities of a scenario where many times unconsciously we are thinking of 1 to 2 possible solutions for a problem at hand or an opportunity, and we do not yet know how to expand that into higher order thinking, and so your executive coach will work with you to do that. We also help you identify who would be a great sponsor inside your company to help advance your career. And how do you prime that sponsor and what conversations to have without you whenever they're at the table and other people are listening for the possibility of adding you to a very visible project? How do you help your sponsor articulate who you are, what your value is, and what you are willing to do, and how far you're willing to go in order to achieve the results that you'd like to make, but then also the results and impact you'd like to leave and help your company with. We also help you understand compensation and ways to navigate those very tender conversations whenever you get to those. 360 reviews, how do you utilize 360 reviews for your advantage? And if you are already coaching a team and leadership over a team, what is your authentic leadership style and how do you come from that more energized? And how do you navigate those times where leadership feels like it's a drain? And how do you work with certain personalities that you may not feel as adept working with on your team? So your executive coach will help you understand personalities. How do you blend yours with them, theirs? And then how do you have those conversations? How do you guide someone as opposed to micromanage them? There's so many beautiful points inside of executive coaching, and a couple of the results that I can share. Working with some executives within high Fortune 100 companies, there have been times where senior leaders are at odds given a certain project and a perspective on how that project's going to be solved or approached from a proposal standpoint. And my particular client was angry at one of his CEO. And so how do you have that conversation without burning bridges? Because going quiet is not the best answer at all, as you take your frustration home and you can internalize your frustration. So I helped him navigate that conversation, come from courage, come from empathy, understanding, ask the proper questions that opened up the doors to have a negotiation that worked for everyone. Preparing for board meetings, oh, isn't that fun? And so helping a client prepare a very strategic conversation and, highlighted project that was going to be visible across the organization globally in the following year. And he was just a little uncertain on what to present, what order to present it in. And he was coming into the room, or he would have come into the room, with the judgment of a particular person that he had some run-ins with prior. And so he even felt himself not wanting to see this person, not wanting to engage with this person, and wouldn't luck have it, after we've already prepared and I helped him through some role play, know how to handle conversations and how to be, right? Wouldn't luck have it that he absolutely ended up sitting next to this person in the board meeting for the majority of the time there. Yeah, I love how the universe works. Advancing careers, compensation questions helped an executive. So he is with a very well-known firm, and there was an opening in the firm that he would love to have been considered for, but he didn't want to burn the bridge in his current department and with his current management, which he loved and adored and really appreciated. Yet this was something that was calling to his heart. And so I helped him have the conversation with HR, people leadership, and with the hiring manager into that new department so that things were kept confidential until he was shortlisted. And then whenever he was going to be given the offer, how to have that delicate conversation with his current boss and his current team. And it took about 4 to 5 months for his transition into that new firm, the new department. And it is exactly where he was supposed to be. There's so many case studies I could share with you. you'd have to imagine over 15 years of executive coaching and business coaching, I have a lot to share. Soft skills, just developing your soft skills. You know that you need to become a keynote speaker in your organization because they want you to be more visible with maybe it's an intelligence you have or a genius you have, or maybe you were the person at the helm of a product or a service development and you need to take the stage for your industry to represent that, but you're nervous. And so I help you develop that keynote and give that. And it's not just PowerPoint, death by PowerPoint, no. Also, understanding how, like I said, to work with certain team members that you may have apprehension with, or I had this one female executive that one of her employees kept coming to meetings and would inevitably cry. She's like, how do I handle this? And so I helped her have some one-on-ones with that person and know how to just share from the heart what was going on, and then know how to have better emotional intelligence in meetings regarding certain things that felt triggerable, right? So overall, executive coaching helps you advance your career. Now, who pays for it, right? And so many times the executives so we have executives, top line executives, business owners, we have EVPs, VPs, directors. We've even had people that are in line for directorship and kept getting passed over, help them get in line for that title increase without, making people upset, right? Sometimes, especially if you're a female, you can think, I'm being too aggressive. And so I was helping this particular female executive that did need to be a director position herself well without burning bridges. And now she's very appreciative, but more than that, she's even gotten 2 more advances because they got to see that she had a lot to bring, right? So how much does it cost? Individuals have paid for their own coaching many times, and we keep ourselves affordable, especially with the advances that you're going to more than likely get with compensation in the first year to 2 years of your work with us. And then second, the company also has supported and sponsored the coaching for their executives and their director level and their high level managers. And that's always great because it's a benefit to you, definitely benefits the company. So hopefully this answered your questions about executive coaching. There was one other, what's it look like? How long do you work together, and what's the cadence of those sessions? So we have a kickoff session that you have an intake. So you take this intake, we have a 360, we have different assessments that we want you to fill in. We have our own proprietary Q&A. And so you do that. If I'm your coach or one of our executive coaches, we get that information and then we digest it, and then we're going to come up with our own questions. And we have a kickoff session, which is planning the most viable and efficient use of your sessions to get to the outcomes and goals that you would love to achieve. And then the sessions after that are systematically put in based on your availability. Most of our executives and our executive coaching clients will use 2 sessions in a month. Some will use 3 if they're planning for a presentation, a keynote. We can advance the use of the sessions, but on a regular cadence, it's usually 2 to 3 in a month, and those are 30-minute sessions. And then you have your coach, like I said, as a sounding board. So we're also available in between sessions to look over a document or an email. I've had plenty of my clients send me an email, hey, can you help me reword this before I send it? I don't want to step in anything. And so I've helped them learn how to have more graceful communications, verbally and written, and body language. And so in between sessions, there's a lot of valuable touch points there as well that are all part of your plan. And most of our clients are going to use a 6-month length. And so we like to start off with 6 months. Some, when they get to renewal, they just buy the whole year because they know they want to continue working with their coach and their company is already sponsoring it. So that works really well whenever they have the whole year to work together to create these results, especially whenever you've got a beginning season of a year and you've got all these projects ahead of you, and how do you manage not only yourself, your team, and your P&L and all the moving parts there. So your coach has the inside scoop on you and what could potentially keep you up at night. We don't want you to stay up at night. That's why your coach is in your corner. So I hope this helped answer all your questions about executive coaching, and I can't wait to meet you and lean in. So we have a complimentary coaching session that you get first off, so you can feel what it is like to work with an executive coach, understand under the hood at Bonfire our tools, strategies, procedures, methodologies, and frameworks, so you can see them, and then also test drive them and see if that works with you, your personality, your industry. We have plenty of coaches that have so many specialties in different industries. I guarantee you're in the right place. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to meet you.